Kurinji Senior Secondary School, CBSE, Namakkal.
Successful result producing school in state every year.
Administered by the Board of Directors with over 35 years of experience in the teaching field.
Special attention on art, craft, music, dance, silambam, yoga, skating and karate.
Focus on Hindi Sabha and Spell Bee Olympiad exams.
Smart class for effective and innovative learning and well-furnished library.
Solitary importance on sports and games in state and national level.
WhatsApp facilities to know activities of students and school inside the campus.
Free bus for LKG to 8th standard.
Free, hygienic and nutritious food.
NEET, JEE, IIT coaching experts from Rajasthan and Andhra Pradesh along with our effective teachers.
Admission registration for classes LKG to +2.
Kurinji Educational Institution, Kavetipatti, Namakkal. Admission in progress. CBSE, KG to 12, contact 9025895176. Metric 6 to 12, contact 9344567484. For online admission, log on to www.kurinjischoolnkl.in.
Okay ma. Now in this video, we are going to discuss regarding gel electrophoresis technique. So this gel electrophoresis technique definitely helps for the separation of DNA fragments based on the size or based on the molecular weight. So now here in this explanation, now I am going to explain about the gel electrophoresis as well as what are the characters definitely required to the cloning vectors. So definitely required to the cloning vectors. So in this particular video, now I am going to cover one is gel electrophoresis and one more is cloning vector. Now let us see one by one. Now the side heading is separation and isolation of DNA fragments. Now the cutting of DNA by restriction endonuclease results in the fragments of DNA. So here definitely we can be taken. So here which one? Restriction endonucleases, definitely enzymes we can be taken for the cutting of which one DNA. So into fragments means definitely by using of restriction enzymes definitely we can get the fragments. Which ones? DNA fragments by cutting them. So what is the enzyme we are using? Restriction endonuclease enzyme we are using. Don't forget. So suppose if you would like to get any kind of DNA fragments from the huge length of DNA, definitely what is the name of the enzyme we have to use means restriction endonuclease enzyme only we have to use for the cutting of DNA. So thereby then only we can get DNA fragments. I hope you understood this one. Now these DNA fragments can be separated by a technique known as gel electrophoresis. This particular gel electrophoresis technique, on which purpose we are using? For the separation of DNA fragments. Means by using of restriction endonuclease enzyme we have cut DNA into fragments. DNA fragments we have obtained by using of restriction endonuclease. So there all these fragments, so these fragments will not be in same size. Definitely size will be very no. So all these fragments can be separated by a technique known as gel electrophoresis technique. So by using of this gel electrophoresis technique, what we will do sir means just we will separate the DNA fragments based on the size, based on the size or based on the molecular weight. If size is very small means molecular weight will be very less. Suppose if the size is larger size is there means at the time molecular weight will be more. Means likewise, so two things we can be taken. So based on the size of the fragments we can be separated or based on the molecular weight also we can be separated we can separate the DNA fragments. So by a technique, what is the technique here we are following? Gel electrophoresis technique we are following. So since DNA fragments are negatively charged, so this bit NEET examination point of view important. So now the DNA fragments are negatively charged. Why? Because so here in a molecular basis of inheritance chapter I have given information that is definitely DNA fragments or the DNA is a negative charged molecule I have given. Why? Because so there NEET bit also I said now there due to the presence of phosphate, DNA getting negative charge. Don't forget one more time. So definitely DNA is a negative charged molecule because of the presence of phosphate. Our knowledge point of view, in a DNA there are three different types of components are there now. So which one and which one? So nitrogen base is there and pentose sugar is there and one more is phosphate also is there. So because of the presence of this phosphate, DNA getting negative charge. Don't forget important point. So now these DNA fragments can be separated by forcing them towards the anode region. So means here this one is a negative charged one and the next one anode also I hope a negative charged only. So means when we are going to move or when we are going to push or when we are going to forcing these DNA fragments to move towards the anode region under electric field to this technique, to this gel electrophoresis technique, we will use power also current. Okay, so electric field through a medium or matrix. Now here what is information now I am going to explain means, first of all DNA fragments. So we are separating. So how we will be separating means by using of gel electrophoresis technique. So before starting of this gel electrophoresis technique, one important name of the enzyme we have to use restriction endonucleases. So why? Because so very huge length of DNA we can be divided into or we can be separated into mini fragments. Once we will get the fragments, so by using of gel electrophoresis technique definitely we can start to separate the DNA fragments based on the size, based on the size or the molecular weight. So first of all let us start to learn the explanation. So these DNA fragments are negative charged one. Negatively charged molecules, they can be separated by forcing them to move towards the anode region. So don't forget this line also, NEET examination point of view important. So thereby, so when we are forcing them to move towards the anode region, so under electric field through a medium is nothing but agarose gel. So here one particular medium definitely we will be using. So name and explanation in further so in the next point only I will explain. Now you see there, nowadays the most common used matrix or medium, here matrix only I have written, medium also you can be taken. So this matrix or medium is nothing but or is obtained from the agar means here in rhodophycean members we have seen now. In rhodophycean members what is the information we have seen? So there agar we can be obtained from the Gelidium and Gracilaria. So there agarose we can be obtained. So this particular thing so commonly used as a matrix or agarose, which is a natural polymer extracted from the seaweeds. Once you see that. So seaweeds we have taken. So red algal members. So red algal members, by using of these red algal members, so definitely we can obtain or from those red algal members means examples Gelidium and Gracilaria, definitely we can obtain agar. So that particular agar only we will be using in gel electrophoresis techniques as agarose gel. Don't forget, definitely this agarose gel is required for the separation of DNA fragments based on the molecular weight. Now what is the importance of this agarose means, so which is natural polymer extracted from the seaweeds. So it is a natural polymer, this point also try to remember. Now the DNA fragments separate. So according to their size, already this point I have given no, but one more time I have written, but I try to save this point in your mind. Now these DNA fragments separate according to their size or according to their molecular weight through sieving effect provided by the agarose gel. So now here what is information now? So first of all these DNA fragments, how we have obtained these DNA fragments? So by cutting the huge length of DNA with endonuclease, restriction endonuclease no. So now these DNA fragments, now we are going to keep in sieves. Sieves means here after final explanation definitely I will draw one diagram of gel electrophoresis. At the time I will show you that diagram. So now here these DNA fragments separate according to their size through the sieving effect provided by the agarose gel. Okay, so hence smaller fragments size is faster it moves. So means here for example, suppose if the lean member is there as well as one fat member is there. So when we are going to keep running competition to them, so at the time who will get win? So definitely those who are having less fat or the lean person only can move very fast than the fat person. So likewise here also what is the thing we are obtaining now, when there are different types of DNA fragments we are studying now, there smaller one definitely with less molecular weight and huge size one definitely with more molecular weight. So thereby here the smaller DNA fragments can move faster than the huge fragment which is having so more molecular weight. So thereby, so first of all we are going to keep these DNA fragments where we are keeping in sieves, means suppose in sieves we are going to keep. So now, and once we will keep all these DNA fragments in a sieve, automatically starting the movement of these DNA fragments will be started. Now, but here one important point we have to understand, that is now you see that the separated DNA fragments can be visualized only after the staining of DNA with the compound known as ethidium bromide. Now here what is the thing means, so before keeping these DNA fragments into the sieves, now you see there, now what is the information now? Now the separated DNA fragments can be visualized only after the staining the DNA with the compound known as ethidium bromide. Now here what is the information now I am going to explain now. First of all, so 1 minute I will come on to the board. Now once you see so first of all, so by using of restriction endonucleases we will cut the DNA fragments or DNA into the fragments. So now, so by using of gel electrophoresis techniques we can separate the DNA fragments based on the molecular weight. Now here what is the technique now we are going to explain means, now you see there, first of all these are all wells. So here 0 0 madri irukano, so these are all wells. So first of all what we will do is, so once we will get the fragments, DNA fragments, different types of sizes of DNA fragments. So now first of all ethidium bromide, ethidium bromide is one chemical compound, ethidium bromide. So we will add on to the, or we will add into the DNA fragments. So sir, why we have to add this ethidium bromide means, so if you add this ethidium bromide under UV light, so under UV light when we are going to search for the DNA fragments, so we can find bright orange color. So that's why here we are adding ethidium bromide. Now after addition of this particular chemical compound, we can add these DNA fragments into the wells. See why I said no. So into the wells we will keep there. So when you will be connecting this entire equipment to the power automatically, so these DNA fragments start to move. So from here to this way. So it will move towards this side. Once you see my finger, it will move towards this side. Means once you see that, so these are all larger fragments, and these are all smaller fragments. So according to our knowledge point of view, so larger fragments they cannot move that much fast when compared to the smaller fragments. That's why here these larger fragments are situated very close to the wells and smaller fragments maintains very far away from the well. So in this particular case, what is the information? After addition of this ethidium bromide, when you will observe under UV light, definitely we can observe the bright orange color. First of all, in gel electrophoresis, what is the procedure we will follow now? First of all, so by using of restriction endonuclease enzyme, we will cut the DNA into the fragments. So now these fragments, before following of this gel electrophoresis technique, just we will add ethidium bromide. Why sir we are adding ethidium bromide means for the observation of DNA fragments. So for the finding of DNA fragments where they are under UV light. So that's why we are adding of ethidium bromide. So by addition of this ethidium bromide under UV light, what is the color of DNA bands we can be seen? Bright orange color DNA bands we can be seen. So that is the explanation. So now, so what is the information I have written on the board that I will explain now. So now once you see there, so now the separated DNA fragments can be visualized only after staining of DNA with a compound known as ethidium bromide, so followed by exposed to the UV radiation. So now you can see bright orange colored DNA bands or the bands of DNA in ethidium bromide stains get exposed to UV light. So when this particular ethidium bromide is exposed to the UV light, or when we are going to observe under UV light, definitely these DNA bands, so we can observe in bright orange color. Bright also you try to remember, not like light orange color. So that is bright orange color. So next one, the separated DNA one, the separated bands of DNA are cut out from the agarose gel and extracted from the gel piece is known as elution. Now here elution is nothing but, suppose here there are different types of DNA fragments are there, no? Here you see that. So there are based on the molecular weight, so many number of DNA fragments are there. So there all fragments are not necessary for our practicals concerned, for our techniques concerned. So very few DNA molecules or the DNA fragments only are required. So in those particular case, no. So one by one or each and every fragment we will take from the entire gel, and we will observe there whether that particular DNA fragment or the small particle has the good characters or not. So by checking of that thing, so definitely suppose in many DNA fragments, definitely we can find one particular DNA fragment as a good one or with good characters. So that particular thing we can be used in our recombinant DNA techniques. Now what is the point now I am going to tell you is the separated bands. So what are the bands are there? No. So definitely we can separate the DNA fragments from the agarose gel. So like one piece means here DNA molecules, so many are there, no? Fragments are there. Just DNA fragment alone we cannot separate. So in that particular case, agarose gel also we are cutting along with the DNA fragments. Means for the taking of one DNA fragment, entire agarose gel we will be taking. Okay. So that particular process only we will be calling as elution. So public examinations point of view, under gel electrophoresis, what are the main important points to be discussed means, first of all, so here agarose you try to remember, next one ethidium bromide you try to remember, next one when we will observe these DNA fragments under UV light, so DNA fragments color bright orange color we can be seen, next one is elution. So likewise there are 4 different types of like our scientific points, words we need to remember. One more time, first one is ethidium bromide you remember, before this one agarose gel you try to remember, next one is under UV light, so bright orange color of DNA bands we can be seen, that is also remember. Next one, fourth one is elution. So these 4 terms if you remember, suppose this question if they ask in public examinations, so while correcting the paper also these 4 terms only they will see. First of all ethidium bromide under UV light bright orange color, so next one more is elution. So likewise 4 or 5 important points are there under the gel electrophoresis. So try to listen this particular or try to learn this concept very clearly. Next one, so what is information? Now these DNA fragments purified in this way are used in construction of recombinant DNA. So our knowledge point of view, I told you already in so many times. So what is the point? So definitely in order to construction of recombinant DNA, so definitely desirable gene is required or desirable characters gene is required, I said no. So now here these DNA fragments purified means the DNA fragment which has or which is having desirable characters or wanted characters. So these particular DNA fragments we can be used for the construction of recombinant DNA. So recombinant DNA. So how we can construct? So this particular DNA fragment by joining with the cloning vectors. So that is only plasmid we will be taking now. So these particular DNA fragments by keeping with the cloning vectors, definitely we can create recombinant DNA. In previous diagram I told you in previous class. So there, so this particular recombinant DNA we can get or we can give connection to the cloning vector. So this entire thing now later we will be incorporating into the host. Within the host now our recombinant gene will be multiplied. So now first of all one entire length of DNA we will be taking. So that particular thing by using of restriction enzymes we are cutting. So all these DNA fragments now we are keeping in the gel electrophoresis. Once the process of gel electrophoresis is completed, so selected DNA fragments we will be joining with the vectors. So definitely at the finally which one formation takes place? Recombinant DNA formation takes place. Now let us start to learn the information regarding cloning vectors. Now Kelly also you can find it down also, that one only. So cloning vectors. Now cloning vectors are nothing but plasmids or plasmids we can be taken. Plasmids are nothing but extra chromosomal genetic material, semicircular genetic material which is present in the plasmid. Already so many times I have given information regarding this. Now likewise cloning vectors, plasmids are there, bacteriophages are there. So likewise plasmids as well as bacteriophages we can be taken. So for what? For the transfer of our foreign gene or the transfer of our good characters gene into the host. So this good characters gene we have to incorporate into the host. So for that purpose we are taking these cloning vectors. Ipo cloning vectors ana vehicle madharima. Suppose if you would like to go from the one place to another place, from one village to another village, how we will use our transport like bike or car or bus or whatever it is. So likewise these cloning vectors helps for for the transport of our foreign genes so into the host. So that is the main purpose. So these cloning vectors, what are those? Plastids are there, bacteriophages also are there, but they must have the capability to replicate, means they must have doubling means replicate means doubling. Xerox will do no. Suppose if you take one paper to the Xerox center, so same paper without any changes of writing and all, they will give one more paper likewise. So that is only replication. So with the bacterial cells or within the bacterial cells, independent of the controlling of chromosomal DNA. So these plastids or these plasmids, not plastids, plasmids. So these plasmids definitely have which one? Independent controlling nature. So independent controlling nature definitely will be there in plasmids as well as bacteriophages. Bacteriophage means already I have given. Bacteriophage means what is the meaning? Virus which infects the bacteria. Now let us avoid this one. Let us move forward. So some plastids may have. So some plastids, how many will be there in a particular cell? So 15 to 100 number of copies we can be seen in one particular cell. So next one, if we are able to link a foreign gene or alien genome of DNA with the bacteriophage or the plasmid DNA, so we can multiply its number of equal copies to the number of plastids and bacteriophage. I have written somewhat information. If you read, you cannot understand, but I will explain now. Now you will understand once you see there. What is information now? One foreign gene or one desirable characters gene. Now we are incorporating into the where? Either bacteriophage or in plasmid we are incorporating. Now what is the thing is happening? When these bacteriophages or the plasmids are going to be multiplied, going to multiply along with these plasmids or the bacteriophages, our copy number means our desirable gene we have incorporated in these two, plastids and in bacteriophages we have incorporated our foreign gene. Along with these two members, our desirable gene also will be multiplied. That is the information here I have written. So now these vectors are used at the present are engineered in such a way that helps is linking of a foreign DNA and a selection of recombinants from the non-recombinants. So definitely, so these vectors definitely we can be used, and these vectors means these vectors are nothing but plasmids or bacteriophages are there now. So definitely we will be using. So for the construction of recombinants, so these recombinants we can be separated from the non-recombinants. Non-recombinants are nothing but just single plasmids. So without foreign gene. Suppose recombinants plasmid will be there, but without foreign gene or desirable characters gene. But recombinants means along with the plasmid, now which one is present? Our foreign gene or our foreign gene or the character or the gene which is having desirable characters. So this is somewhat important point. Why? Because recombinant gene means already I have given the combination of two different types of genes I have given. Recombinant DNA in previous video also I have given now. So that is recombination means the combination of genes or the combination of two different types of genes. When these two are present together now, so such kind of genes we will be calling as recombinants. Non-recombinants are just only presence of plasmid. So there, don't forget, there is no foreign gene. So such kind of thing we will be taking as non-recombinants. Now, so what are the characters must be there, or what are the characters must be present in plasmid means, so there are different types of features must be there to facilitate the cloning, into vector. So there are different types of features are required. What are those? So first one is origin of replication, second one is a selectable marker, and third one here I didn't write, and third one is cloning vector. So that one in the next video I will give you. So first of all, origin of replication, second one is a selectable marker, and third one I didn't write, don't sit down. So that is cloning sites. So cloning sites information, and still somewhat information is there. So that one I will cover in the next video. Now before go with the next video, let us continue to learn here. That is origin of replication, simply ORI. Amma, did you hear this one before? Don't forget, yesterday only I have given explanation on this. So there, origin of replication. So let us have a look on this. This is a sequence from where the replication starts. So the word itself giving information, you see there, origin. Origin means starting. Which one is going to be started? Replication. So that is the point. Now the replication is going to be started, or the what is the sequence is responsible to the starting of replication. So such kind of a sequence we can be taken as origin of replication. So what is the importance of this origin of replication means? So any piece of the DNA when linked to this sequence, suppose you have one specific sequence, so that one, suppose if you are linking with this origin of replication, what is happening now? So when this origin of replication sequence is going to be multiplied, now we have attached one piece of DNA now to this origin of replication. So our piece of DNA means, what is a piece of DNA we have incorporated to this origin of replication, that one also will be multiplied. Amma, did you understand? One more time, origin of replication is nothing but one specific sequence of DNA. Amma. So it has a character. What is the character it has? Suppose if you are keeping any kind of a foreign gene, or if you are attaching any kind of a foreign gene to this origin of replication, what will happen now? Our foreign gene also will be multiplied along with this origin of replication. Am I understood? So try to understand. So this one. So next one, this sequence is also responsible. So what is the sequence? This origin of replication is also responsible to the what? For the controlling of total number of linked DNA. So means linked DNA, we have incorporated now one foreign gene. Alien gene we incorporated with this origin of replication. Now what is happening? If this sequence means, if origin of replication sequence is multiplied means, or if it is multiplied, our foreign gene also will be multiplied. Am I point you understood or not? The sequence is also means, the sequence means origin of replication is responsible for the controlling of copy number of linked DNA. The NEET examination point of view, important to try to concentrate. So thereby, if one wants to recover many copies, the target DNA should be cloned in a vector whose origin support in higher copy number. So that is the information. So before only I have given. So means origin of replication definitely helps for the multiplication of our foreign gene or the multiplication of our desirable gene. Okay, now second one is selectable marker. So this selectable marker also is important. Try to listen carefully. In addition to ORI. So here I didn't write completely. Why? Because we know very well ORI is nothing but origin of replication. Now along with ORI, one more thing also is required, that is selectable marker. So vector requires a selectable marker which helps. Now we are going to study about the function of a selectable marker. So that helps in identification and elimination of non-transformants and transformants. So here, so what is the information? No, in previous video I have drawn one diagram now here. So that one but I will give you first of all non-transformants. Suppose if any kind of a host, suppose E. coli in previous video I have given. No, so there which one vector without foreign gene. Don't get confused. Non-transformants means host cell will be there. Within the host cell, which one host plastids also will be there, but that plasmid not consisting of foreign gene. So such kind of thing we will be calling as non-transformants. If transformants means, so try to say transformants means one host cell will be there. Along with within that host cell, recombinant gene is present. Recombinant gene is nothing but the combination of plasmid as well as desirable gene. So that is the point. Means here this selectable marker, what it will do means it helps in identification as well as elimination of non-transformants. Means the bacteria or the host without recombinant DNA. Suppose if the recombinant DNA is not present in any kind of a host means, so that particular host we can be taken as non-transformant. If transformants means host with recombinant gene. So this is the meaning of transformants as well as non-transformants. Now here the transformants as well as non-transformants both are identified. We can identify. And what we can be eliminated? Non-transformants we can be eliminated from the transformants. So by using of selectable marker. One more time I will explain once you see. This selectable marker definitely helps for identification and for elimination. You try to buy out these two lines. So it is a very, very important identification point of view as well as elimination of non-transformants. Definitely these non-transformants we can be separated or we can be eliminated from the transformants by using of selectable marker. Now first of all, now let us see. So transformation means it is a process. Transformation is a process through which a piece of DNA is introduced into the host. I told you or not? Now you see that transformation means, so it is a procedure, a piece of copy or the piece of DNA is introduced into the host. Now a piece of DNA, how we will introduce into the host? We will take one vector, our foreign gene or the piece of DNA we will keep into the vector, and that vector now consisting of a foreign gene, means there are two types of genes are there now. Now both now we will be incorporating into the host. So that particular process only we will be calling as transformation. So transformation is nothing but it is a procedure. It is a procedure. So through which a piece of DNA is introduced into the host bacterium. Normally, so these genes means here the piece of DNA we have taken now, foreign gene or alien gene. So that particular genes are encoding resistance to antibiotic. So definitely antibiotic resistance will be there to this foreign gene. So here the what are the antibiotics means? So there are different types of antibiotics we have seen. So ampicillin, tetracycline, kanamycin, erythromycin. So likewise there are so different types of antibiotics, and chloramphenicol also we can be taken. So likewise, so there are different types of antibiotic resistance will be there for what? For a piece of DNA. That piece of DNA also we are taking as foreign gene or alien gene, or likewise there are different types of names are there. Now, so what is the gene we will be taking, or what is the foreign gene we are taking? No, definitely for that disease resistance or resistance to antibiotic, or they will be showing of resistance to antibiotic. So now here that particular thing we will be calling as a selectable marker for E. coli. E. coli, it is a bacteria, already you know very well. Next one, the normal E. coli cells do not carry resistance against any of these antibiotics. Means suppose this particular E. coli is there now. So this particular before insertion of our foreign gene into the E. coli, that will be normal. that will be normal. In that particular case, that will not show resistance to the antibiotics. But if you incorporate our foreign gene into the E. coli, now this E. coli definitely shows the antibiotic resistance. So this point in class one more time I will explain. Now you cannot understand this one, but remind me when you will be here at the time once I will explain this one. So now the normal E. coli cells do not carry resistance against any of these antibiotics. Normal cells, normal E. coli cells means they cannot grow. How in the next video I will give you. So normal E. coli cells do not carry resistance against any of these antibiotics, but which one? Transferments means which one? One host cell is there. Within the host cell, which one is there? A recombinant gene is there, no? So that particular organism we can be taken as a transferment. So definitely these transferments has the capability to show resistance against the antibiotics. Suppose you see this video when you will be in free conditions. Suppose if you are unable to understand, no worry. So definitely I will explain this concept by one more time in presence of you. Thank you, Ma.